Tiny phone people, today's episode is all about Alocasia. Right, let's get into it. Today we revive the undead, but in order to understand these dormant plants, we need to rewind and start from the beginning. Alocasia are also known as elephant ears, and they originate from the tropical and subtropical areas of Asia and Australia. Now, they are particularly common in rainforest environments, where it's warm, humid, and shaded. They actually come from corms that grow out of their root systems once the plant is mature. Right, let's get down to business, strip these bad boys down, prepare them for a repot, and have a rummage in there for some more corms. And whilst I do this, allow me to share some pearls of wisdom about Alocasia. These rather cool and complex facts will in turn highlight the intriguing complexity of the Alocasia plant, blending their biological uniqueness with cultural and ecological significance. There are over 80 known species of Alocasia, each one's leaves varying in size, texture, and colour. In scientific notebooks, they're known to be poisonous to animals and humans. However, I've never eaten one, so I wouldn't know. They also go on about skin irritation. I guess we'll see at the end of this episode. NASA once did an incredible survey on a number of plants. Alocasia wasn't one of them. However, it's known to contribute to purifying your air. Probably need quite a few. On a cultural note, in some countries, Alocasia are actually considered a symbol of good luck and prosperity. They obviously don't know the plant like we do. Well, quite a few corms in this mix. We'll have to sieve through this later. Under the right conditions, Alocasia grow exceedingly quickly and will often need repotting before any other of your plants. You were probably wondering what I'm doing with this dead trough. But in fact, these plants are dormant. Yes, one could even consider them perennials, dying down over the cooler months and waking up when warmth arrives again. They are exceedingly sensitive to overwatering and underwatering. Overwatering leading to root rot, and underwatering meaning the plant will normally seek dormancy and therefore lose all of its leaves. The leaves of Alocasia plants can move to face the sun throughout the day, a phenomenon known as nyctinacity. This helps them to maximize light absorption. Now for propagating, my favorite area. One can divide a rhizome or find offset pups. Also, as mentioned earlier, they produce corms from their root systems, and each corm is able to make another Alocasia. Allow me a few moments to sieve through this dirt. I'm sure we're going to find a few more corms. Even today, there are still forms of Alocasia that are exceedingly rare, therefore sought out by collectors, and can have quite an impressive price. I remember the days when Azlani and dragon scale were sought after. Now you can find them in nearly every garden centre. Well, here we are. After that back-breaking exercise, we're left with quite a few rhizomes and a lot of corms. I guess the next thing to do is pot them up. For the rhizomes, I shall be potting them up into pots immediately. And for the corms with no roots, I shall be placing them in a tiny Chinese Tupperware container filled with moist sphagnum moss. Right, let's talk about plant sweating. Yes, you heard correctly. The Alocasia is one plant that sweats. It's actually through a process called guttation, thus meaning that the plant expels excess water through droplets on the points of their leaves. Some Alocasia grow such large leaves that historically some countries use them as makeshift umbrellas. They even wrap their food inside of it to cook, and some are even edible. In nature, some of these Alocasia have uniquely adapted to survive flooding. Their stems actually develop parenchyma, which are airy tissues in their roots that help transport oxygen to the submerged parts of the plant. Rarer still, some species are capable of thermogenesis. They can actually generate their own heat. This helps them spread their scent and attract pollinators, a very rare trait in plants. Talking of pollination, the flower of the Alocasia, the inflorescence, has a symbiotic relationship with a very specific beetle. This symbiosis enables a very effective pollination. In Filipino folklore, Alocasia are said to be homes for elemental spirits and are often associated with mystical properties to do with rituals. It's time to have dinner. I'll be back in 5. I am absolutely stuffed. Oh, I do love a good chow mein. Right, probably got about 20 of these, so those will be potted up and popped on the shelf. Lots of light, humidity, and heat. Now to attack all of these. For the corms with no root system, this one, I shall be placing them in damp sphagnum moss. As they tend to be a sort of pear shape, the rounded bumperclaw goes beneath. I shall be placing these on my propagation shelf. Plenty of light and heat. I will also be closing the lid on this Tupperware to ensure maximum humidity. Once all of these corms are rooted more than this one, they shall be removed and planted in their own tiny pot. Now, with some TLC perseverance and a bit of luck, all of these shall root, giving me at least 40 more Alocasias. What are you going to do with them? I hear you scream from across the screen. Well, you'll be pleased to know that we're opening up our house again. Yes, Plant Sale 2024 is on the horizon. More details to follow. However, it's going to be in June. Prepare yourselves for what could be one of our best open days yet. Until the next time, toodle pip, tiny phone people.